Hi, welcome to this 20-minute easy class. So we're going to start seated today. Just come down either cross-legged or legs out in front, or maybe even a cushion, whatever's comfortable for you. And when you're ready, bring your hands together in prayer and close your eyes. We're going to start with a few deep breaths in and out through the nose. Just letting go of all of the chitter-chatter that's in the mind and focusing on the breath. Slight engagement of the core to keep your spine nice and long and straight. Now take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Gently bow the head to open the eyes, and we're going to start to move with some overhead stretches. So shake it all out and then inhale, reach up overhead and look up, and then exhale, bring the hands together in prayer. So we're going to do 5 in total. Big inhale stretches you up, and then exhale, bring the energy into the heart space. Inhale up, exhale back down. And shake it all out. And let's come into seated cat-cow now. So hands are on knees, and as we inhale, we stretch forward, and as we exhale, we drop back, rounding in the back. So inhale, stretch through the front of the body. Exhale, stretch through the back of the body. So make sure we keep both sit bones on the floor, but we can roll over them, that's no problem at all. To start to move, use the hands on the legs for support. And then come back to center, and let's come into a side stretch now. So right hand to floor, left arm reaches up, and then bend the right elbow. Look under the left armpit. Feel a stretch through the left side of the body. And then reach the hand up, and we're going to come to the other side. Left hand to floor, right arm reaches up and over. So stretching now through the right side of the body. So keep pushing that right hip into the floor. And feel a stretch coming out of the right hip into the right, all the way up to the right wrist. And then inhale, bring the arm back up and release. Shake it out a bit. Come into a twist, spinal twist. So left hand onto right knee and right hand behind. See if you can get the palm of the hand to the floor. Inhale as you stretch yourself up a little bit taller, and exhale as you twist a little deeper. Feel a deep stretch. Now come to the other side. Right hand onto left knee, left hand behind. Again, inhale lifts you a little taller, exhale twists you a little deeper. Nice ringing out through that whole digestive and spinal area. Now come into a shoulders. We're still twisting. So palms facing down, arms straight at shoulder height. Turn and look over the right shoulder. Twist as far as you can with keeping both sit bones on the floor. And then come to the other side, left to the left, for about 3 breaths, just to get the positioning right. And then come back, and we're going to do with that with a breath connection. So we're going to exhale, we're going to twist, inhale, we're going to come to the center. So it's a very short Kriya process. You're going to feel the twisting and the ringing out through that whole digestive area, lower back. It's in the second chakra primarily. So exhale and then shake it out. Take a moment now to recover from that, and you may even want to pause the video. Just feel the energy that's shifted. There's maybe a bit of a welling up of emotion. Let's roll out the shoulders. Release out any tension that's gone into the neck and shoulder area. So fingertips are on the shoulders, rolling back, using the elbows to track, and then come the other way. Feel that releasing through the upper back area. And shake out. Come on over onto your hands and knees into tabletop, and we'll do a release for the wrists now. So hands are directly under the shoulders, fingertips facing forward. Stretch the fingers as wide as you can, and just check in with your feet now that you haven't curled up your toes or hitched one knee up or something like that. So find the lengthening in the back as you're stretching through the fingers. Now shake it out, and we'll switch them around. So fingertips are now going to go out to the edge of the mat, pointing outwards. And you might need to do one hand at a time if you've got weak wrists or if you don't feel supported. So just use one hand directly. It's up to you. But we're stretching, we're pushing that palm of the hand into the floor, stretching through the fingers. Now bring the fingers facing each other. So we're moving from front to sides. That's it. Making sure that you shake them out between each of them. And now let's turn the palms facing up, fingertips coming towards you, stretching out through the wrists. This is great if you've done a lot of computer work or a lot of tension in the wrists and in the forearms. Gets right into those areas. Shake out. Great. Well done. Take a moment. We're going to sit back on your heels if you can. You might need to put a cushion between the butt and the heels if necessary, and place the hands on the front of the thighs, nice and tall, eyes closed. Again, a little bit of a reset. Taking a moment between the different activities to bring yourself back into centered, into presence. Great. Okay, we're going to come into Thunderbolt now, or broken toe pose. Come up onto the toes, so take a moment to work out how you want to get to there, and then sit back. Feel a stretch in the feet and toes. If you wish to, either leave the hands on the thighs, or bring your hands to prayer, or bring them into eagle pose. If you're going to go into eagle pose, then start with left over right, crossing at the elbows and then holding the hands together. Really, we're using this just to take our attention off our feet. Now swap it over to the other side, and eagle to the opposite. So if you're doing eagle, you're stretching through the upper back. Maybe even just palms together and elbows together can be a good stretch. But keep breathing whatever you're doing. And then shake it out. Come on out, shake out the feet. Feel how deep that stretch was. Okay, so a little bit of core activation from tabletop. Stretch the right leg back and then hover the left knee off the floor. Push the hands into the floor. We're activating the shoulders, we're activating the core. Breathing, don't forget to breathe. And swap over to the other side now. Push the heel back of the left leg, kneecap comes up, and then hovering the right knee off the floor. Just like only a tiny little bit off the floor so that you can keep your flat back. Great, and then come on back out. Let's come into extended child's pose. So bring the big toes together and the knees wide. Walk the hands as far forward as you can, as well as pushing the butt back. And then bring forehead to floor. If the forehead doesn't go to floor, then bend the elbows and make a little pillow with the hands. Or maybe even pop a cushion under the forehead, but let's get the forehead to the floor so that we can relax into this pose. Take a few deep breaths and even close the eyes while you're here. Now we'll just continue to do the extended child's pose, but let's stretch it out. So walk the hands over to the right. Again, forehead to floor. And then walk the hands over to the left. Forehead to floor. Push the hips back. Feel a stretch in the lower back. Also opening for the inner thighs. Chance to go a little bit inwards as you've got your forehead to the floor. A little bit of reflection, and come on back. Come on back up to tabletop. This time we're going to go into plank. So step the feet back. Find that length through the spine. Push both heels back. Pull both kneecaps up. Pull the belly in. Push through the hands to push the shoulders up. And make sure you're looking straight down. Not looking towards the feet, not looking up. You want length through the neck. Might even need to pull the chin in slightly. Great. And come on out. Let's come into puppy dog pose now. So hips are over the knees. Walk the hands forward this time. Knees are hip width apart, feet hip width apart. And then forehead back to floor. Feel a stretch under the arms, down through the body. And keep engaging the core. So don't round in the back. Keep the back flat. And then come on out. Take a moment. And let's come into some hip rolls. So from tabletop, start to roll the hips around. Now if you've got any knee issues, you may not want to do this. See how it goes. It can be good releases for the knees, but only if you haven't got any issues with them. And then come back the other way. Big stretches around. Just finding those edges where you feel the tightness, especially in the outside of the hips. Really working into that. So exploring those limits that you've got. And then come on back down. Let's come into child's pose now, just to recover from that. So forehead to floor. Palms facing up. Bring them down beside your feet. Again, you might want to pop a cushion between the button and the heels. And feel the belly resting on the thighs as you breathe. Feel it. This is very small massaging for the digestive system here. But there's a massive lengthening in the lower back. Cool. And when you're ready, come on back up. Let's come on to a seated position. And we're going to continue with that lower back. So bring your arms under your knees. Legs are straight. And hug your knees. Again, belly onto thighs. And bury your head into your knees if you can. So taking the hamstrings out of the stretch, it's all about the lower back. So the legs are bent, but you can flex your feet and you can stretch your legs as far as you comfortably can, but we want to keep the belly on the thighs. And then come on back up and just rest the hands on the knees into that half lift. Straight spine. And now right leg out to the side. We're going to come into single leg stretch. So start with the left hand onto the right leg, then bring the right hand on top. You can bend the knee and feel it into we want to feel it into the left lower back, left side. And be careful as the knee as you open up. Right, bring the right knee, bend it, bring the foot in, reach the right hand, and then left on top. Again, as I say, bend the knee if need be. It's not a hamstring stretch. It's not. We're trying to move now into the right lower back. So see if you can feel into the stretch in the right side of the body. Release any tension that you're holding in that lower back area. And then come on up. Give it a bit of a shake out. Bring them into a wide-legged forward fold. So, seated. Push the hips back. Reach for the feet or the shins or the knees, wherever you are, and feel a stretch in the inner thigh. If you can, start to bend the elbows, but keep the chin up. So keep the eye gaze forward. Great, and then come on out. Come into a comfortable seated position. going to come into fire log. So we're going to go bringing the left foot under the right knee and then the right leg on top. It might be just a seated position, and then walk your hands in front. We're working into the hips, piriformis, all of those areas stretching. Just be gentle as you come out, and then swap it over to the other side. Again, once you've settled the legs, then walking the hands forward, maybe bending the elbows, but don't drop the head. Feel a stretch coming out of the hips. Don't let the upper back pop. We want to keep that straight. Let the stretch go into the hips, not the upper back. And come on out. Give it a shake out. And I think we really deserve to lie down in Shavasana now. So come onto your back. Feet nice and wide. Let the feet flop out to the side. Bring the hands outside of the mat, palms facing up. Just check. Maybe even just squeeze the shoulder blades together, that you're not hunched, that the neck is straight, that you're not leaning to one side or the other. Really check in with your body now and see how it feels. See if it just notice where the tension is, and if there's any tension still in the body. Taking a deep breath in and then breathing out and relaxing that area. Or maybe even squeezing and clenching that area and then relaxing it. Just cycling around the body, finding any areas of tension and releasing. I'm just taking now a moment for yourself. Be present. And if you feel like it, come on up and maybe spend some time seated, or maybe stay in Shavasana, maybe stay lying down, up to you. Wherever you are, focusing on the breath, letting the thoughts, you might see the thoughts come in, but don't get caught up in them. Focusing on the body and the breath. Now coming up, if you haven't already, coming up into that seated position. Taking your time, keeping your eye gaze low. And then bring the hands together in prayer. Take a deep breath in. Clearing breath out. Gently bow the head to open the eyes. Namaste. Thank you very much. Well done.